Hi everyone, this is Darren here and a warm welcome to a new series of mine. It's called On the Road with Me, and the reason why we decided to come out with this particular series, which is a little bit more spontaneous, a bit more informal, it's because for the past few weeks and for the next few weeks as well, we're going to be quite busy. My team and I, we're going to be quite busy, so we aren't able to do our usual content marketing videos where we have it at our own studio because we are busy preparing for a few things. One would be, we just concluded a national public speaking competition for the primary school category, which we were very happy with the results as well as the performance of the students. The other thing is we are preparing for the national public speaking competition in October. That's for the secondary school students. We are also preparing for a shoot project, which is more of a B2B project that we've taken up with schools to create content for them. So that is something that my team and I will be busy with. And I thought that, hey, why not, well, I take the time instead of, when I'm on the road. Of course, eyes will be on the road. It'll be going to be very safe, yeah, for me. So not to worry about me. It's going to be very safe for me. And it's one where instead of just listening to the radio, I can make use of the time to just have a quick chat with everyone and share with you how my day has been and share with you what's up, and perhaps even address some of the questions that people often ask me why I do what I do. And for this particular video, it brings me quite nicely to one of the things that my student recently asked me. My student asked, hey, what got you to go into full-time as a public speaking trainer and a public speaking coach, and when did you decide that is going to be something that you will do full-time? Well, it's certainly not an easy decision, and wasn't a decision that came, the moment I was in secondary school or straight away I knew I was going to be a public speaking trainer or coach. In fact, no. In the year 2009, when I was still a law student, that was when I started Public Speaking Academy. I started Public Speaking Academy in December 2009, and in that particular year, I started PSA in mind, not really thinking of it that eventually one day it will be a full-time endeavor, but rather to see as a proof of concept. That's one. And the other one, it's because it's something that I enjoy doing very much. I was back then quite an avid and enthusiastic speech contestant already, and I wanted to see how I can pass on the skills. It's always been in me, I would say, perhaps to train and to teach and want to pass skills to others. That was when I was in the Interact Club, when I was in junior college and in secondary school as well, and even in primary school, training my own younger brother and helping him with, say, some of his subjects. That is, I suppose, one of the main things, and I did it really out of fun and not really making money. Back then, I didn't have my own learning center, and I went to schools and corporate organizations to conduct training. It was one where I felt very rewarding because the skills that I learned as a speech contestant and back then in junior college and secondary school days, also did debate, but in public speaking, competing at the national level and then international level, and eventually winning the World Championship of Public Speaking, I wanted it to be a case where the skills don't just stay with me. I want it to be a case where the skills, I can pass it on to as many people as possible so that people can become great communicators themselves. I see it upon myself as perhaps like a purpose, why I feel happy doing what I do. And in fact, I remembered my very first gig, I did it without being paid for. It was for free, so there was no professional fee involved, and it was one where it was just transport reimbursement. Yeah, to take a grab to and fro that particular venue. But I was really very happy. I felt extremely rewarding, that entire experience, and that what prompted me to eventually continue to move on further. And I would say that that's one of the things that continue to inspire me to do what I do right now. For the transition, it wasn't easy, so I decided to try it out first. Proof of concept is one. Then in 2017, when I realized that it's actually quite viable, then I went on to making it full-time endeavor. So I left full-time as a lawyer and then went into this full-time training people, training students, training teens, training adult learners as well. And to discover that, going into business full-time, it's another learning curve altogether. It's not something that university necessarily prepared me adequately for. And when COVID-19 hit in 2019, it was another challenge presented to me. And how are you going to meet that particular challenge? And something that a lot of businesses met with for the very first time. In business, it's about taking that calculated risk. It's about knowing how to problem solve, sometimes wearing multiple hats and making sacrifices. And I'm still very happy that I took on this particular pathway. Yeah, that's what got me really excited then, and still gets me extremely excited now. For the training, I would say being a speech contestant is one thing, but being a public speaking trainer, it's quite another. So continue to upgrade myself, continue to learn from others. I find that important. Yeah, and when I found that going into this full-time, it's viable, it was one where I never looked back already. So for some of my friends, when they ask, some of my students, when they ask, do you think I should just jump or should I leave my current job and go into something else full-time? I would say probably you can test. Yeah, if you can test it for a short period of time and if it works while you still hold on to the full-time job, if possible, yeah, that is the best of both worlds, and that was what I did basically. Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be more than happy to address some of the questions in my next On the Road with Darren. Take care, everyone.